Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. During the past few months of staying at home, have you made time to relax or to enjoy your hobbies? For me, relaxing includes walking, reading, staying in touch with my family and friends, and also making things with my hands. Ever since I was little, I've enjoyed a variety of arts and crafts, but I think that pyrography is my favorite. I've been doing pyrography or wood burning for about 15 years after getting a kit from my parents for Christmas. I had asked for, I had asked for a present after seeing a demonstration on TV about the process, and I wanted to try it for myself. And if you're not familiar with pyrography, I have two examples. So this is the first piece that I had made 15 years ago, and this is a piece that I have finished just the other day. And I think my video is cutting out. So the word pyrography, oh, that got it. So the word pyrography comes from two Greek words, pyr, which means fire, and graphos, which means write. And while most people don't use literal fire to make their drawings, most of us use a soldering iron or a pen that has a hot tip to etch images into wood, paper, or other burnable but non-toxic materials. My favorite materials are basswood and poplar wood because they're soft and they don't have much grain structure, which means that they're easy to work with, and they have a warm sepia tone at the end. Most of my pieces are monochrome, but I occasionally add color depending on the project and how I feel about the image. And it's this versatility that I like about pyrography. And like any art form, people can bring their personalities into the project that they're working on. In pyrography, we're not limited to two-dimensional surfaces like a wood plank or a piece of paper. I've also worked on the wooden boxes, pieces that I've carved myself, and even nesting dolls. What I also like with pyrography is, unlike pen and paper, you can add texture to the wood surface using the pen. And it's essentially, like I mentioned, this sensory nature about pyrography is what I like, is that I can feel the pen as it cuts through the grain on the wood. I can hear the wood as it's burning under the tip, and I can occasionally smell the smoke coming off of it. I like the many steps that it takes to make a piece. So sometimes I pick out a design or I draw the design. I prepare the wood surface. I have to transfer the design, burn it, and then finish it in the end, either by adding oils or by adding color with paint. And the burning part is only just a small step of this process. Pyrography is a good hobby for me because I find it challenging. I've had to learn how to hold the pen in a way that I can get consistent lines and also vary the line width in order to add interest to the final picture. I've had to learn how to work with the grain of the wood, either by incorporating the grain as part of the design or by varying the pen speed over the surface. Some of the parts of the grain, the softer parts, tend to burn faster than the harder parts. For me, it's an inexpensive and also portable hobby. I've been doing it in apartments for over 10 years now, and when I visit my family back home, I can take it with me to continue working on it there. Most of the requirements are probably having a stable surface and, and also a place that's not near curtains or other flammable hanging materials. Um, Good ventilation is also important. So working in a large room or near an open window to kind of get rid of some of the smoke and the smell. I like the fact that there's really no pressure in pyrography. I can work on projects as long as I want to. I can work for an hour or two on a small project or a gift, or I can take several weeks and take several hours to develop a design, prepare the wood, and then finally burn the piece. I find it's really good stress relief because it requires much concentration. I don't want to burn myself with the pen tip, and also if I make a mistake, it's very difficult to erase it. It's not impossible, but it's rather difficult to correct a mistake I've made on the wood. I continue to challenge myself by finding new patterns or styles that I might like to try, and also playing around with media, so adding watercolors and acrylic paint. And I've also added gold leaf to a couple of my projects within the past 2 years. And while I don't recommend that everybody try pyrography or wood burning, I do recommend making time for hobbies or finding time to relax and possibly challenging yourself with your hobbies or finding new hobbies and skills that you might like to try. Is there a new type of book or movie that you haven't seen yet or read about? Or possibly there's a new place that you haven't walked yet. For me, great hobbies are a really great time and a great way of relaxing, and especially during the stressful times that we're in now. And thank you.
Thank you all. And Nikki, thank you very much for your speech. I would like to begin actually by saying that I never heard it the first time, so I'm really grateful that I got a chance to hear it again. While of course, that I didn't hear it the first time. There's one thing that I wish to ask is when your video disconnected, I missed seeing the second picture. Can you show me the second? Because I thought the first was incredible already. Okay, I see. Wow, quite intricate, the detail. Very nice. All right. My favorite hobby. I found, first of all, pyrography, a term that I didn't even recognize, but because I knew that pyro had to do with fire, so I had a feeling that it was something to do with that. And I was really grateful that you did explain it for those of us who may not know what the actual hobby or activity was. One thing, Nikki, that I really appreciate about you is your choice of words and the flow of sentences that you employ. I feel that for someone who is quite new to Toastmasters, you really are already a master as how you choose your words and how you just create your sentences. So I find your speech always really intriguing, and I want to hear it and kind of see where it's taking me. I also appreciated when you spoke about the activity, even though you're not standing in front of us, but your facial expressions were enough to kind of guide us through what you are trying to describe. And I specifically enjoyed when you spoke about how this activity was sensory, and then you went in to describe how you hear this activity. Of course, you're touching it and you can occasionally smell it. So it made me so intrigued that I wish to actually see how it's done. So the only thing maybe that I would have liked, I guess, to be really honest, I feel minor, but maybe like a small demo and the tools that you use to create this art form, because again, it's the first time I hear of it. I look forward to looking it up on YouTube. So that was the only thing that I wished maybe to help me visualize what you are describing. And so really, I commend you for your speech. I commend you for this hobby. And the last thing I will say was I enjoyed the way you ended your speech because you also invited each of us to maybe do something during this time that brings us happiness. So it was like a seed in my mind, your invitation, maybe either to do something that I already love to do or try something new, like pyrography. And thank you very much and congratulations again on your speech.